case. It's a laser-guided pathological scanner, Boyke, Dell said, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Straight from the R&D labs in Switzerland. It can detect anything from a common cold to a midlife crisis. Boyke picked it up, weighing it. It looks remarkably like a checkout scanner from a supermarket in Croydon. That's the clever part, Dell beamed. It's built into a familiar casing to prevent patient anxiety. High-tech, low stress. These are going to be in every private hospital in London by Christmas. I've got the exclusive distribution rights. Rodney cleared his throat. Well, technically, Trotter's Independent Traders is the sole procurement agent. Boyke let out a short, sharp laugh that sounded like a seagull choking on a chip. Healthcare, Derek, you can't even diagnose a leak in your own radiator. I'm talking about the margins, Boyke, Dell urged. 30% return in 30 days. Guaranteed. Boyke put the cylinder back. I'll tell you what, Dell, I'll take 10 of them, at £100 each. Not a penny more. Dell's face fell. 100? Boyke, I paid more than that myself. Then you're even more of a dipstick than I thought, Boyke said, standing up. Now, if you'll excuse me, Marlene is calling. We're having a very expensive lunch. Chapter 23, The Laser Reveal. Back at the flat, the living room was filled with silver cylinders. Rodney was sitting on the floor, surrounded by instruction manuals that were written entirely in what appeared to be simplified Chinese. Dell, Rodney said, his voice trembling. I found the translation for the model number. Dell, who was busy trying to buff the Made in China stickers off the cylinders, didn't look up. And, does it say Precision Medical Tool? No, Rodney said, standing up. It says Industrial Poultry Sexer. Dell froze. A what? A poultry sexer. Dell, it's a laser tool used in high-speed chicken factories to determine if a chick is a boy or a girl. Dell stared at the cylinder in his hand. He pressed the button, and a tiny red laser beam shot out, hitting a picture of Uncle Albert on the wall. But it's laser-guided, Nick said. Nick is a conman. Dell, we've spent Damien's uniform money on 50 machines that tell you if a chicken is a rooster. The silence in the flat was absolute. Then, from the hallway, came the sound of Raquel's keys in the door. Oh, no, Rodney whispered. Dell, if she sees these, she's going to sex us both with a rolling pin. Quick, under the sofa, Dell hissed. They spent the next 10 minutes frantically shoving silver cylinders under the furniture, just as Raquel walked in. Hello, boys, she said, looking around suspiciously. Why is everything moved? And why is there a red dot on Uncle Albert's nose? It's a new security system, sweetheart, Dell said, sweating. Trotter Tech Security. We're testing the perimeter. Raquel sighed. Dell, please tell me you haven't bought more junk. Junk? Raquel. This is the future. Chicken. Security is the future. Chapter 24, Domestic Turbulence. The fallout from the laser deal was swift and painful. Raquel discovered the cylinders within 48 hours, mostly because the cat had learned how to trigger the lasers, turning the living room into a low-budget disco. 50 poultry sexers. Derek, Raquel yelled, her voice echoing through the tower block. We could have bought Damien a new wardrobe. We could have paid the rent for 3 months. It's an emerging market, Raquel. Del pleaded, cowering behind the armchair. The organic chicken industry is booming. Everyone wants to know the gender of their poultry. Rodney was no help either. He had taken to wearing his Spartacus tunic around the flat as a form of silent protest. If anyone needs me, Rodney said, walking through the kitchen with a wooden spoon, I'll be in the Coliseum or the local job center. Oh, shut up, you tart, Del snapped. I'm working on a pivot, a business pivot. He retreated to the balcony, the one place he could think. He looked out over Peckham and saw Boyke's Mercedes driving past far below. He knew Boyke was laughing at him. He knew everyone was. But as he looked at the silver cylinder in his hand, an idea began to form. It was a crazy idea, a stupid idea, a trotter idea. Rodney, Del shouted, bursting back into the room. I've got it. We don't sell M to farmers. We sell M to the entertainment industry. The what? Laser tag, Rodney. We market M as pro-level laser tag kits for high-end corporate away days. We tell M it's a tactical training tool used by the SAS. Rodney looked at the poultry sexer. He looked at Del. For a second, a spark of the old madness returned to his eyes. Tactical training for corporate away days? Exactly. Trotter Tactical. It's a new branch of the company. Chapter 25. The Phoenix Prepares to Fly. It was Friday night at the Nag's Head. Del stood at the bar, a silver cylinder tucked into his waistband like a futuristic weapon. All right, Trig, Del said, nodding at his friend. All right, Del, what's that on your hip? A fancy new torch. It's a tactical marking device, Trig, Del said, winking. Standard issue for the elite squads. I'm organizing a tournament next weekend. 20 quid an entry. Winner gets a bottle of my finest champagne. Sounds dangerous, Trigger said, looking impressed. Can I be the referee? You're hired, Del beamed. He looked across the bar and saw Rodney talking to a group of young city types who had wandered in from the more gentrified parts of town. Rodney was gesturing wildly with an electronic personal organizer and a silver cylinder. And the beauty of the Trotter tactical system, Rodney was saying, his voice filled with newfound confidence, is the haptic feedback. It's so precise it's practically clinical. Del watched his brother and felt a surge of pride. They were back in the game. They weren't millionaires, yet they weren't even thousandaires, but the wheels were turning. The yellow